Are you a cabinet shop, kitchen or bathroom type person, or a furniture type maker? Do you want to bring an unparalleled level of customization to your customers' projects without spending a ton of time doing them? In this video, I'm going to show you how the alt mill bridges the gap between small-scale CNCs and large industrial units to bring a balance of performance, affordability, and ease of use. Today, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a custom door, but the same methods and processes can be transferred to many other projects out there. There really are only two parts to create this particular door: a profile around the edge and a 3D model for the artsy stuff in the middle. For the profile, I need two vectors. One vector to drive the profile shape around the edge, and a vector for the profile shape itself. I'm going to create a simple rectangle for my drive rail. It doesn't get much simpler than that. For the profile, I'll just whip up something simple-ish from scratch, but you've also got Vectric's clip art library with stock options at your fingertips. The clip art library is going to come in huge later for the 3D model artsy thing we're going to throw in the middle of this custom door. For the profile shape, I'm literally creating another rectangle. I'll add a node in the middle of one side, and that's to give you the shape that I'm looking for. And I'll tweak the Bezier handles until I get, a curve that I like the look of. Now I'm just going to delete the bottom and the side spans, and I've created the profile for my door in like 10 clicks. Select both the drive rail and the shape that you've created, select the molding toolpath, and we'll bring this profile to life. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch ball nose to carve out the actual profile. The alt mill absolutely flew through this oak at 600 inches a minute without even hesitating. We're not taking off much. Have I ever mentioned how much I dislike oak? Well, I do. It smells awful. I despise the open grain. I like white better than red, but even that's not saying much. Anyone else out there agree or disagree? Let's hear what you think down below about oak. I'm not using the larger area clearance tool, but I will show you a simple way to clear out the area depending on your design. Sharp corners. Yes, please. Little rename, little calculate. Preview to see what we've got, and the profile is done. Told you it was easy. With me so far, I think you're going to continue enjoying how simple this whole project is. If you are, hopefully you'll take a quick second to like, subscribe, and if you want to keep up with the amazing things that CNC is up to, ding that notification bell as well. Each click tells the rest of the world that we're making cool, helpful, relevant content, which means more people will see us. So we'd certainly appreciate it, all the clicks we can get. Like I said, I do want to clear out the middle of this door because I want a little lip offset in from the profile where the 3D model is going to go in the middle. Just like everything else, that's easy. We're going to select that inside profile that we already created, and we are going to create a pocket toolpath. I'm using a 1/4 inch down cut for this. I want a hard bottom corner, otherwise I could have used the same ball nose that I used for the profile. Yet again, this bit had no issues running at full speed with how much material we were removing, so I ran it as fast as the alt mill would go. I changed the passes to raster and the angle to 270 so it carves with the grain of the wood, which will help hide witness lines. We'll also do this for the 3D artsy stuff that we're doing later on. Ramp your plunge moves, rename, calculate, and we're going to preview to see what we've got so far. I'd say it's starting to look like a door already. A couple clicks, we're already there. There are tons of places to get 3D models, but Vectric has some pretty slick clip art right in their libraries if you don't want to search the interwebs. Just to show how helpful this is, I'm going to grab this uber outdoorsy eagle wolf tree moon clip art file thing and drag it into my scene. It looks freaking cool already. I'm going to select the 3D model and scale its model height to about 50%. We don't lose much detail, but it will save time carving. I'll add a zero plane and move its base height up a tad to push the whole 3D model up a bit, which will save some time carving, and it will leave the material thicker. If you don't understand why I added the zero plane, drop a comment down below and I'll explain it some more. Select the 3D model and add a finishing toolpath to it. I'm using one of my favorite bits, 1/4 inch tapered ball nose, to carve the 3D finish toolpath. All of the bits I'm using in this video, plus all your other CNC product needs, can be found on our website. Check out cnc.com/store to see our amazing selection and prices. I ran the tapered ball nose at about 400 inches per minute, but not without a couple of work holding boo-boos first. So let's talk about that quickly. I didn't think double-sided tape was going to be strong enough to hold this, and I was right. But I tried it anyways. In an ideal world, I'd have a vacuum table set up for jobs like this, so I don't have to worry about running into clamps or my piece moving. But I didn't have a vacuum table set up, so I just added a little length to my material so I could screw it down. Again, not ideal, so what do you think? Are vacuum tables the way to go for jobs like these? Drop a comment down below on what your favorite work holding method is when clamps can't be used. I wanted to add a lip for some definition between the profile and the 3D model, so I'm going to offset the rectangle we used to clear out the pocket inwards by 0.15 inches. I'll use this vector to define the machining limit boundary. Same as before, I changed the strategy to raster and 270 again, renamed, calculated, and checked the preview to make sure that I was happy with what I've created so far. And that's all it took to create this detailed, super cool, custom door. But remember, 3D models aren't the only way to make amazing custom projects. You can create patterns and textures and so many other freaking amazing custom options. Here are a couple quick examples of both shape and texture that are simple to create, but super custom. All right, that's enough talk. Let's carve this beast out. Always scared me. Crack in it. Can you imagine carving enough of these by hand to actually finish an entire kitchen, let's say? That's a pretty tall order. But with the alt mill, you're able to carve out amazingly intricate details with just a couple of clicks. This kind of project that we just did isn't just for kitchens. It can be anywhere that panels or doors are needed. Front entry doors, sliding barn doors, liquor and curio cabinets, hutches, dressers, you name it, you can do custom work for any one of these projects. Being able to offer this level of customization will blow the competition out of the water, especially for how easily and affordably you can do it with the alt mill. Hopefully you found the video helpful. We hope you are inspired now to get out there and try some new things yourself. We want to hear from you. Let us know if the alt mill would be a good fit in your shop and what kind of projects you would make on it. Till the next one, see you around the CNC. Boom.